Yeah.
Good. Let's run it back. Welcome to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club with your brother John.
This is Kiana.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the Image Project with Community Development and Training, aka See That.
See that.
And we would like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool. What's good, y'all?
What up?
What's happening?
What happening?
What's happening? What up?
It's Monday.
Yeah.
Monday.
Is it Motivation Monday? Make it happen Monday?
Money making Monday.
Money making
Money
Monday?
motivation.
Move your mind Monday?
Get up out bed.
Monday.
Wake
up.
Wake
Wake
up.
up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
I need to give like Mr. Evans some coffee or something. You got
Yeah.
coffee? Is this your
Yeah, he already got it.
You stop, baby.
Yeah, he
Oh
got
no, you're not.
Not quite juiced all the way up.
Nah.
Not fully
Yes,
charged.
yes.
If we had to give you a percentage, what would it be?
120.
Oh
120.
no, I done seen 120 and 150. If I had to give you a percentage right now, you're like 38%.
38%. You get 38% bars.
Now you kind of waking up. I walked in here, your head like leaning over.
He was on like 13 when I walked in.
Oh, okay.
He was on 13. Now he's on 38.
Okay.
Recharge your battery,
He
y'all.
got a fast charger though.
Recharge your battery.
No, you recharge your
That's the
battery.
message for the show,
Oh,
man.
recharge. Well, go ahead. Send the message.
Message to the people this morning.
Recharge your battery.
Believe that, right?
So, okay, so you were on vacation. How was your vacation?
Yeah,
Yes. I was actually working. It wasn't a real vacation.
Oh,
So it was work.
a work trip. Yeah. That's what's up.
Hmm.
How was your weekend?
it was a good weekend.
Okay.
We kicked off at Urban Ink
Okay,
Mhm.
that's right.
for the 3rd-year anniversary for that. That was a sold out event.
You painting still.
Sip painting, sip puff and paint.
Okay,
And it was indoor outdoor, so it was 100 people there. At least, well, it was
Nice,
100
nice.
people. It was 100 seats that was sold. People kind of came in. DJ Nephew did his thing
Okay,
on the ones and twos. Nicole did was hosting. So it was a lot of love, but yeah, so it was
okay.
great.
Cold
Wow.
shell.
Yeah,
Okay,
Good
that's
stuff.
what's up. That's what's
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. And then Saturday, what did I do Saturday? Oh, I hung out with my cousins
Okay, on Saturday.
on Saturday.
That's what's up.
So yes, and then Sunday I just kind of chilled. Cooked. I got lasagna at the house if y'all want some.
Okay,
Hey.
alright.
Loaded lasagna.
Loaded.
I was talking to y'all.
Okay, right. Good morning, sweetie. My wife is on.
I see that. Good morning to Sean.
Jumping in. Double Dutch. Look, y'all like it, share it, spread the word, man. The Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is on.
Okay, so how was your weekend?
It was good. You know, my uncle Willie James passed, and so I had to
You
go
were
to
out of town.
Leesburg for the memorial service. But I mean, you know how that goes, right? When you get with family, even though it's a sad occasion, it's always a good occasion. And
Mm-hmm.
my family on my daddy's side, so I was able to connect and tap in with people I haven't seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know Reno talked about this. We used to talk about this a lot too, like the connection that we have with our mom's side
It's different than your dad.
than your dad's side.
Cause yeah, like I have deep rooted connections with my mom.
Yeah, same here. Like I'm really tapped in, plugged into I just know more of my people on my mama's side than
Yeah.
on my daddy's side. That's all.
My daddy's birthday this weekend too.
Okay, happy birthday, pops. But yes, why is that a thing? I mean, is that something? Is that something you deal with, Mr. Evans? Like,
So
you got connections rooted on your both sides of your
I
family.
mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
it's the 38%.
42 now. I
It's
think.
coming up. Like, in the show, y'all gonna say stop.
Stop.
You need to stop.
Let's turn the knob down. Oh, so you know what I think? So maybe I'm wrong. So let's talk about this. So I think that because men are taught to not show emotions,
Okay.
and so like they're not over like, hey, I need to go see my dad. They y'all kind of separate the two a little bit.
Well,
If that makes sense, I may be
I
saying it kind of wrong,
no,
but
I'll tell you my experience, right?
okay,
So,
go ahead.
So like with my pops, he moved from his family. So this is the other thing that I found this weekend.
Mhm.
So my grandma, my dad's mom, had him when she was really young.
Mhm.
And she was like one of the older siblings.
Mhm.
So my dad was older than a lot of his uncles. And that's who passed. One of my dad's uncles was like my great uncle. So my dad was born in 42. Uncle Willie James was born in 1948. And those other was born in like 45.
Mhm.
And so they kind of grew up together more like brothers
Their sisters, yeah.
than like uncle and nephew.
Uh-huh.
And so now, like a lot of their children, we the same age,
Right.
but they like my second cousins. That was kind of the
No, I get it. I get it.
we was having. And it just created this interesting dynamic, between us as family members. Because when they talk about, their cousin, my dad, he was like up there again. He was older than a lot of his brothers and sisters, and so, his uncles, and he moved away from home, and like we just didn't go back and visit
Because men start their families
Mhm.
and kind of start doing their own tribe. Women never kind of lose those typically don't lose those connections.
They go back home more.
Yeah, they go back home more.
Yeah, because we was all Leesburg, and so I remember going back to Leesburg, and we spent a lot of time at my grandma's house on my mama's side.
Mhm.
But we didn't spend a lot of time, like at my uncles and aunts' house.
And that's how it was.
Even though they was all there, they was all
Right.
not all of them, but some of them was in Leesburg as well. So, but it was just interesting how that all happened.
So
I don't think it was the way they was taught and raised.
I don't think
how my daddy was.
I don't think that like it's something that you would still like, hey, you leave home and don't ever come back. It's just like, you know what? Like your man, suck it up. Like, don't cry. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that you don't talk about. You just kind of just kind of go and do, and then start to build their foundation for their house, and just kind of worry about their kind of like that.
Suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah, that's my thing. Suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah, my pops, he was definitely big on immediate family, extended a little bit, but mostly, just us in the immediate circle. That's how it kind of was.
And see, like my grandfather, so we hung out with his brother. He came in town, but he didn't live here. He lived like in Kentucky or somewhere like that when he passed away. And then my grandfather also passed away not knowing where his little sister was at.
Wow.
And so because they would end up being separated, when they're so my Aunt Betty found us like 2019.
Okay, yeah, a few years ago.
Yeah. She came down her and her husband, Uncle Ralph, came down, and she had an old letter that my aunt had wrote her. And she was at the her house, as a matter of fact, because she for a meeting there and just riding around and happened, and she would have found us earlier, but she wasn't quite sure of the address. You know how like mirrors or something? Yeah.
Well, that's what's up. Shout out to family, man.
Family is big.
And they got like a book too. I gotta take a look at it. They got like a book with a tree and all that stuff in it. So we just gotta connect the dots again.
My Aunt Lois,
Mm-hmm.
my Auntie Lois, there's 6 generations over there.
Wow. Okay.
Her children, her children's children, their children, and then their children have children, and then their children have children.
So what's her name? Aunt Lois?
Uh-huh.
How old is Aunt Lois? That sounds like at least 80 plus.
She is.
Okay, yeah.
But she look good.
Oh yeah.
Look.
No, that's what's up. 80. Yeah, that sounds like it. I'm looking forward to being, a great something.
Yeah. So so there's a great over there. She has like 3 great grand.
Yeah, because I think I'm a great uncle right now.
The greatest.
I'm a great uncle. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to being like a great.
It's something about it. You know how like when you're younger, you don't want to embrace it.
I never not want to.
No, like you never wanted. Like
I always like look forward to getting old. Once I realized I was going to get old, I was like, yeah. Like my wife, she used to say that. She was like, you need to make up your mind because like on my birthday, I will make myself older on my birthday.
Good morning, Sierra.
Look, there wasn't too many of us that got old, so
You will make yourself old.
I just, I pick a number and say I'm that age. Like
okay, so like I'm always.
Like I was in my 30s and I was like, yeah, I'm 40. Just turned 40. Just because I was like,
you embraced it. Yeah, no. So every year, regardless, I'm 28.
Okay.
I'm a seasoned 28. Like I've been here, I'm not new to it. I sat in the pot, I done marinated. So yeah, you know what I mean. So I'm kind of, I'm new to it. I'm not new to it.
Having birthdays.
I do too.
Good morning, Sister Sierra. Thank you for tuning in. Join for Rising. Good morning. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Hey man, like it, share it, tag a friend, and you listen to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. So, still in Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
Will continue to be. So, one of America's most prominent African American scholars of the late 19th and early 20th century, Anna Julia Haywood Cooper, passed away on today in 1964, and she was age 105. Cooper's rise from humble beginnings in Raleigh, North Carolina, as the daughter of an enslaved mother to becoming the fourth African American woman in America to receive her doctorate degree. It demonstrates the character of her personality and intellect, her hard work and determination to succeed. In 1924, Cooper received a doctorate in history from the University of Paris Sorbonne. As an educator, orator, and author, Cooper left a mark on the Washington, D.C. area and much of America. She started out as a teacher at the M Street School, later Dunbar, and that was the only all African American school in Washington, D.C. And then she later became principal of the school. One of her quotes was, "Only the Black woman can say when and where I enter in the quiet, undisputed dignity of my womanhood, without violence and without suing or special patronage. Then and there, the whole Negro race enters with me," is one of her quotes. Anna Julia Haywood Cooper. Okay. Yeah, Black History Fact. And if you can remember her name, Anna Julia Haywood Cooper, call in. Tell us what you learned about her. What did she do? And you can get some Ferg bucks. How about
yes.
That? We do Ferg bucks. Today is also no.
Okay.
You heard that?
No brainer.
No brainer. So it was a champion no brainer day coming out of Chicago. She created over 1,000 holidays. So that's a process for creating holidays, apparently.
Okay.
So she created over 1,000 holidays, and no brainer day is one of them. The day encourages people to stop overthinking things, criticizing themselves, and loosen up and unwind. Things are simple, and the multiple problems we face daily may have easy solutions if we stop stressing and take things easy. Okay. As it implies, no brainer means making choices that require very little thinking or effort. Today is National No Brainer Day.
Keep it simple.
Yes. Believe that. Yeah. So no brainer. Are you an overthinker?
At times.
Edmund, you overthink?
So let me tell you.
Really keep it simple. Yeah.
Dead. So I'm gonna say we're back at the 13%. The charges, we're gonna have to wiggle a little. You know how? No. We're gonna have to wiggle. You know how like when your charger not really working and then you start to play with it, you take it out, put it back in, switch it around, do all of that, like wiggle it a little bit. You know, you want to clear out like all the dust and all this other stuff, thinking that it's not gonna, it might help the charge. So I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect your charger right now. Hopefully it beats you up. We need like you need like a fast charger.
Really? A fast charger. So check this out.
Are you first? Are you an overthinker?
Sometimes,
I think so. Yeah.
yes, sometimes it depends on the magnitude of the problem. Sometimes it kind of requires me to think a little more about it before I make a decision. But yeah,
And I'm creative, right? So
jump,
then,
jumper to go.
so like I'm creative. So like my mind like start painting these pictures,
Yeah, yeah,
and it gets real colorful.
yeah. No, I got like a standard set of questions I ask them.
Okay.
Just kind of run through it. You know, what's the
When,
purpose?
where, how, who?
Objective, benefits,
Okay.
process. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
How we gonna do it? Who's gonna do it? Yeah, it's kind of like a who, what, where, when, and sometimes I think you can dive into the realm of overthinking,
Sometimes. Yeah.
but not usually. I try not to overthink it because a lot of times the way you paint that picture in your mind, especially when you're overthinking, um,
Yeah.
you make it worse than what it really is.
You really do.
And all of the stuff that you projecting that could happen or usually go wrong or something like it never really happened the way that you
I agree.
bad as you projected it. So yeah.
But then sometimes you be right on the money.
Yes, sometimes you be right on.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think oversimplifying is just as dangerous as overcomplicating.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I will agree. Like when you just kind of like,
Let's go
it
down.
is what it is. Okay.
No thought at all.
Yeah.
You gotta give it some thought. So no, but that's what today is. Today is National No Brainer Day. So check this out, y'all. Did y'all hear about these Clearwater fire medics that declared a man dead?
No.
The deputy got there, they found out that he was still breathing.
Wow.
So glad you asked. The fire medics have been suspended for providing medical treatment while the county and Clearwater fire and rescue investigate. So two Clearwater fire medics, they were suspended for treating patients. They were suspended from treating patients while officials reviewed the report that they incorrectly declared a patient deceased and delayed his medical care.
Well, at least that this time.
Yeah, he was. So they received a call about 10 a.m. on February 15th after a man had suffered a cardiac arrest at a private residence in an unincorporated part of the county, and then they arrived. After the initial reports, the fire medics declared the man dead shortly after they arrived. Oh,
No, how you said it.
they declared the man dead shortly after they arrived.
So
The fire medic left after deputies with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office arrived. The man was identified as 66-year-old Thomas Maxwell, according to the spokesman. One of the deputies noticed that the man was still breathing and called medical first responders. The crews were sent to the scene and arrived at 10:28. After which point they responded to the patient. He was taken to the hospital and remained there this week. Another part of the story was that the daughter of the man was telling the medics the whole time, "My dad is not dead."
okay, so I'm gonna say those medics, whatever they was on, because you had come on, like yeah, and so maybe they needed to be recharged. They were kind of at a 2%.
Yeah, maybe he had like a faint pulse or something. Or it was low, but
They better be dead.
they better dead.
So I would say I believe in like giving people second chances, but I think they need to get a second chance at somebody else's job.
Yeah,
No, they glad. I'm glad they gave that man a second chance.
Yeah, thank God that they did. You just said thank God they rechecked him.
yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Dang,
Like,
that's big. We could have been, man.
yeah, and they saying like she was like literally screaming. I saw it on the news too. They was like she was like screaming to him, "He is not dead."
Wow.
And they was like, "Nah, he's gone." They was like, "The man was gone."
That's hilarious.
Crazy.
Is it really?
No, it's not hilarious.
Well, I
That's
mean,
crazy.
honestly, if you're gonna make a mistake on me, like
What?
that's the one. Like say yeah, like it.
Say that you ain't here.
I mean, if there's gonna be a mistake, they didn't mess me up, still alive. Like they didn't kill me,
Somebody else came
and they didn't kill me.
Oh man, yes they did, kind of though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of did kill you.
So you know my theory.
Almost.
You know what? So my theory goes out the window when people say, "How's your day?" and I be like, "I ain't read about myself in no obituary."
Yeah. This guy probably would have if it wasn't for the Pinellas County sheriffs doing a recheck. But yeah, my wife said they need to go through CPR class and maybe some other classes they give. And I think that's what happened. So they said that the daughter was actually performing CPR when the medics arrived. And when they arrived, he took over for her, and she was telling him that he was still alive, and they basically declared him dead.
Okay, so what do you think the discipline should be on this?
What should the discipline be for declaring a man dead and he's not dead?
Is this human error or is it just like?
I think maybe looking at some of the other work, like this, definitely an investigation to check, see what happened.
Oh no! Oh,
Yeah,
because this is worse. I don't want them to make this because just think that they could have like
there might be more.
declared somebody else dead that wasn't, and then they died because.
Yeah, because they didn't get treatment.
So should they lose their job?
I don't know. The jury's still out. I think there's more information that need to be had. But yeah, something needs.
So okay, so Angel say retraining is definitely needed. Tashawn say take classes.
Yeah. So that means that they still would be working then. So it sounds like we
So when we do the buddy system, would they have to start all the way over and this is on their permanent record? And that they, now they get this and they can't get a promotion for like over a year, something like that?
Okay, Angel said no, I think they should keep their job. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but that's definitely if that ain't a teachable moment, you know what I'm saying? And then like you're gonna forever be the two guys who came out and said, that's the one who said the man was dead.
Yeah. But I guess, once someone else come over another scandal, it overshadows what you did.
Yeah, I guess something will come. But I think this was the statement from the chief. They said, upon notification of this incident, we immediately removed both the fire medics from their normal duties and discontinued their abilities to provide patient care. In conjunction with the county's medical director, this was what the statement from the chief said, on behalf of the city, I apologize for the actions and the inactions of our crew during this incident. We have strict policies and procedures in place that were not followed according to our preliminary review. These two did not perform to the standard of care that our citizens expect and deserve. We will address this incident swiftly. And yeah. So they got standards. They just weren't followed. They didn't follow the standards.
Okay, it shows that our mic is off. Can they hear us on they still can hear us? Okay.
Yeah. No, it's just a different one. We got a couple mics.
Oh, okay.
So see, look. See that? Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
We high.
We on, y'all. And so another one of the things too, did you see this thing about the train derailing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that, man?
I mean, I think it happened. Trains, but trains have been derailing. It's a whole conspiracy theory about it.
About the derailment of this?
Yes.
So tell us about it.
Well, they saying they're poisoning the atmosphere with train wreck. Well, I mean, like I say,
like that's a consistent thing that's happening.
But it's several, and it's like real important. Those real important cargo.
Okay.
Ones that can kill you.
Stuff that's on there.
So have y'all ever ridden a train?
Nope. I didn't.
Me neither. I want to take a train ride.
Train don't have steering wheels. I'm just saying.
I think I have put on.
I don't know. You kind of got to go where the train goes.
I mean, it has tracks that like kind of
lead you along the way. One thing I noticed about the picture of the
derailment.
Yeah, derailment. I think they call it Little Palestine or Palestine.
Yeah,
East Palestine. In like Omaha, wherever. Don't get me started.
Okay.
But one of the problems. Ohio, yes.
It was one of those old.
And I seen the picture with all the debris and everything on the side and those tracks cleaned off.
Yeah.
First thing I said, well, they was already back to business.
Oh, they
when I looked at the picture and I really looked at it, and it's like they cleared the tracks off already. Right, all the debris is to the ride, and you can see that a train can slide right back. You get right back on track
they
and
gonna
handle
fill the
business.
tracks. They gonna
Oh, we're back to business.
It's
It's
right back to
usual.
business.
Okay.
Right back to business. Pull that track right.
And so it was a toxic laden train. They said
Yep,
in
yep.
Northern Ohio, and the EPA is saying that they got the Northern Southern is the train company. They have to pay for the cleanup. So the train derailed. It was East Palestine, Ohio, on February 3rd. It was carrying vinyl chloride and other potentially hazardous substances. Norfolk Southern is now facing multiple lawsuits on behalf of residents, many of whom were forced to evacuate their homes. Um, and they said that the EPA has the power to fine and sanction the firms over this environmental concerns. And Norfolk Southern said that they would pay for cleaning up the mess that they created and for the trauma inflicted on the community. Because I guess when it blew up, it was like a big deal when it exploded. And then in the aftermath of the derailment, they reported certain ailments, including headaches, nausea, and expressed fears that the local water supplies would be potentially harmful, despite repeated assurances from the government that the water was safe. They actually even had the governor, I think, Ohio, come out, and he took some photos with him and some other
Drinking some water.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they had some bottled water that they kind of told them.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, but they allegedly drinking the tap water to show people that it was safe. But most people don't believe that the water is safe.
I usually get scared when I see those type of official events and then they drink water. Yeah, it usually get out like moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get right back to the boy sitting in the chair,
Yeah.
shaking.
Ting, ting.
Yeah, have a sip. And they, but they celebrating, basically saying like, look, we'll drink your water, so you shouldn't have any fear either.
Yes, it became a political issue. President Biden taking hits for it.
Because
President Trump actually flew out there and doing
to
like,
Ohio.
yup, and doing stumps and stuff.
Did you call him President Trump?
Let's see the president. You're president forever. You never stop.
Former president.
Y'all say former, but the title doesn't move.
Yeah.
His title isn't former president. His title is still president. President Barack Obama's title is still president, not former, but that's just like the way to verbally communicate it to each other.
Okay, but he went out there, right?
Yeah, he went up out there, so there is a political issue.
Yeah, they are politicizing, and that's what they were saying. I think what's his name, Buttigieg, is
Pete.
Pete Buttigieg. I think he's like, is he transportation secretary?
Yes. Infrastructure is questioned, and crumbling. I think this is like the 5th train derailment. If you remember, a time ago there was an Amazon train that flipped over in California. You know what I'm saying, that derailed, but
it caused like problems and stuff like that
because it wasn't hazardous material, people were just hitting the Amazon truck.
Oh, okay.
So that was the problem. Yeah, that was a problem.
Yeah.
So that was like a community problem. Like somebody was like stealing.
I mean, every problem is an opportunity, really, right? We're talking about restorative practices, and when we talk about, oh yeah, because I've been in these meetings, man, and honestly, I've been armed with these tools, right, and this knowledge to know how to identify sometimes implicit and explicit bias,
right,
and try to identify some of the roots to what we're going through. So while we in a conversation, I put it out, hey, why can't we do some restorative practices?
So I have a question. Do you think we can overthink some of this stuff?
I think there's no such thing as overthinking. I think what we
you see this? You see?
Okay.
Listen, I think what
that's maybe a 53% comment.
Yeah, it's coming
the battery is charged. Hey, when this break come and I put that cup in the microwave, y'all gonna wish I was back.
No, because you know what? Because
let you out of speech,
no, because I mean when we first asked about overthinking, he was like, no, he don't think there's a thing called.
I want to hear the theory.
Because you can't. The problem is analysis paralysis.
Okay.
So a lot of times when people say overthinking, that means because you ain't making a move quick enough, or you should make a move fast, right? Okay. But the reality is, you can have all the time you need to think over anything you need. You need to feel comfortable enough, right, to have that process time. You know what I'm saying? To clearly think of what can and can't happen. It ain't nothing wrong with that. But the problem is when you think of too much, and now you
and it paralyzes you. And you don't take no action.
or not
or
even.
the wrong act.
I was gonna say, so there is
Wrong act.
overthinking because you could be like, we can always sitting up here, right?
Mhm.
And then like you glance and somebody else
Why you
sees.
looking at me like that?
Why you looking at me like that?
That's
That's
overthinking.
No, I know
overthinking.
what it was.
You
This
know-
morning when I combed my hair, I went to the left, and then so the left the front part curled down. But
That's
she-
why you looking at me.
That's just no, but
That's overthinking.
but overthinking would be like, see, he got a problem with me.
Okay.
You know what I
Oh, yeah,
mean?
you
Like, you know,
overthinking.
yeah. Like, I'm just saying, like, he looked at me sideways.
But
He
that
didn't
is-
speak when I
that
came
is-
in. Mind you, you was asleep. So I'm like, he ain't speak.
I know I was asleep. I had shades on.
This is just hypothetically, but now that you throwed it out
See, now
there,
you overthinking.
no,
You
Yes, sir.
overthinking. I'm just giving it to you. You overthinking the whole thing.
but you see how this goes?
Yeah, but no, but it's just like a verbal way to communicate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a term. When they say them terms, it's more of a term.
Yeah, overthinking.
Yeah, you overthink because you better overthink.
Yeah.
Underthink.
Underthink.
Man,
If you're not overthinking, you
underthinking. So
right?
what's the other side of it?
I overstand. I overstand.
Where's the happy medium?
Yeah,
Right?
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So-
Would
so
you
what-
rather overthink or would you rather underthink?
I would rather, I don't know.
You are
because-
not underthink.
No, because
you an
let me tell you why. It's because either one of them can be dangerous.
Yeah, that's
Either
anything.
one of, but
So just
That's
think, don't
Yeah.
over, don't under.
right.
Just keep it right in the
So
middle.
why we got
Just
the
think.
people? Listen, why we got the people over here and everybody's laughing because they're definitely laughing. Share the page. Go to the bottom. Share the page. Thank you for everybody who tagged someone in. Tag more people in for us, please. We appreciate it. Once you tag people, send the stars.
Tell them my battery all the way up. Tell them
Yeah,
battery
Jabbar
charged.
is now waking up.
Let
Like,
them weigh in. What percentage y'all think, just based upon the observation?
yeah.
What percentage is I gave him 53.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. Like,
Listen, y'all, we is on an uptick, so
Okay,
just
yeah,
chill.
so you see what happened was I took the charger out and re-put it back in, and then he started to go.
No,
It was a
Nah,
supercharger.
you overthinking.
Okay, and also we have the marathon. We're
Yes.
raising $2,000 from the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
Yeah,
Please donate. Don't be shy.
Come on, man.
Community
Don't
radio.
don't overthink
Don't
this.
overthink this.
Don't overthink
Today is
this.
National No Brainer Day.
Yes,
Those
don't
who just
overthink
tuning in,
this.
It's no brainer.
Yeah.
man.
So let me tell you, nothing's too big and nothing's too small.
Yeah.
It's a
this
no
is-
brainer.
Right. So go ahead. The donate button is up there. It's on the website. There's two. Okay, so let me explain. When you go to the website,
Okay.
is one donate for relief form.
Really.
Yeah. Pass that one.
Keep going.
Keep going down.
Wait, hold on. The relief is important.
No,
We're
wait.
not just skipping the relief, but I hear what you're saying. We're going all the way down.
Yeah.
Wait. Don't confuse them.
Yeah.
Don't confuse it right now.
No, I think we all know it's important.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be-
exactly.
It wouldn't be there if it wasn't important.
Right, but that's not-
just not what we push
right.
right now.
So pass
This is
that.
30% people. This is for
Yeah.
all our 30%.
So go down,
That's
and then there's
Yeah, he got-
another
he got
donate
60.
button. He's back.
Up on his fast.
Donate,
And so it's the second donate button that
Yes.
you're gonna see,
Yes.
right? Go there. Once you donate, you're gonna see that it says one time or monthly.
Yeah.
You choose which one you want to do, and tell them that it's from the Tampa Bay Breakfast
So
Club.
monthly is like being a sustaining member,
Yeah.
where that every month you will give a portion, right?
Yeah.
It'll be automatic 5, 10, 20, 50, or
Mhm.
100, 1,000, or whatever you know feel comfortable giving.
Right.
And this is community radio. Careful, the radio 99 Jams is your radio station because this is community.
Yes.
Absolutely. And we need your support, y'all.
That's
We
real.
actually rely on the support of listeners like y'all,
Real.
man, to keep us going. And so definitely appreciate it. Help us reach the $2,000 for our marathon drive. I want to say this too. We move forward as we making these community announcements. So I've been talking about it and we'll continue to talk about it until the expiration date. So there's a new flight training scholarship available at
Yes.
Albert Whitney Airport. Friends of Albert Whitney Airport are now offering flight training scholarships for youth in the area ages 16 to 24. The scholarships will help committed young flight students in that age range achieve their private pilot rating, which is the first big step in an aviation career.
Wow.
The fundamental goal is to increase participation in aviation by young students from underrepresented groups in St. Petersburg. To that end, the new flight training scholarships are aimed at primarily high school students with an emphasis on reaching students who may not have considered aviation as a viable career. Basically, students who ain't thought about it.
Hey,
Trying to think about it.
I want to say this. When I see you talking about it, it's very important because we're not in aviation in any large numbers. Like it's still the first, like this or that in aviation still happening as we live. So yeah, take advantage of this.
What's the cutoff?
The cutoff is March 17th.
No. The cutoff date.
24.
Oh, you know what? I have some students.
Yeah.
I
Get them to try to get at least one.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Give them something to talk about. Go learn how to fly.
How dope that'll be.
Again, we talked about this on Friday.
Mhm.
And you be like, oh, you got your license?
Yeah.
I got my pilot license.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You got a driver's
Hey, no, you know how
license.
some people I know I got my CDLs.
Okay, yeah.
First I got my
DL.
DL. Now I got my CDL.
Yeah.
Now we're trying to get the aviation license.
Yeah, you got
Shout out to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, Carol Fester Radio.
So all the guys, if you're looking at like something good, like something dope to kind of put you above everybody else, you go, girl, I can take you on a flight.
Ladies and gentlemen, right? This is the ultimate flex. This is the aviation flex.
Yeah, it is. And it says they also have some are specifically for female or minority students. So they also looking for women and girls who are historically underrepresented in aviation.
I wonder my 2-0.
Science
That's dope. Yes, you are. Just a couple of days.
Yeah, you
your birthday just passed.
No, I'm just saying for the minority and the women, because they didn't say like, you know.
No, what you can do?
What?
You can prorate your age, not underrate, but you can take it back.
Or you can just go to love4awa.com and see what the criteria is.
And
so it's love
the number 4awa.com.
I know there is. If I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, there is a cap where you can like start aviation.
No, no cap.
You sure?
No cap. No, I'm sure.
Are you sure?
It's a no cap industry. It's a no cap industry.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. You don't know, but I know you.
Thank you for checking in.
Big shout out to Super Dave and the Four Horsemen DJs. Elements of hip hop is happening at Urban Drinkery. Big shout out to Urban Drinkery coming in. Powerhouse event.
Yes.
And Elements of Hip Hop is I think it's only second or third part 2 and 3.
Okay.
And it was super dope listening to the MCs, the lyrics. There was one brother out there so good. This boy was spitting bars so hard. It was like, oh man, is he really doing that? Is he lip syncing? His battery was on 100%.
His battery was on 100%.
He was fully charged. He came out fully charged. We talk about Element of Hip Hop. They are fully charged.
And you know, we're gonna be at Urban Drinkery on Friday.
Look, Urban is. I just got this in the text. It says you're cordially invited to the African American Heritage Association Black History Month Social. It's on Tuesday, February 28th from 6 to 9. Guess what?
Urban Drinkery.
There you go.
Listen, it's the new hot spot, right? There's a
2184 9th Avenue South.
There's a couple of hot spots, and Urban Drinkery is definitely one. Before we go to our next set, I want to say big shout out to the Tampa Bay Black Art and Film Festival.
Oh yeah, that happened this weekend.
Yes, we had the closing event last night. That's why I'm kind of powered down because we were powered up all night long. Big shouts out to Francis Cumberbatch. Big shouts out to Debbie Yachty Garrett, Richard Gill. You know, the whole team, all the energy and love. Big shouts out to Miss Denise, everybody, Miss Blue, Mama Blue.
Right.
Everybody that's helping.
Not your kind of grandma.
Yeah, she's very nice. But this was an amazing event. I actually debuted my first photojournalist show. Well, actually we previewed it. We had a couple pieces. It was a hit.
Photojournalism.
Yeah, so I take pictures. Remember, I've been taking pictures for the last 12.
I met you.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know I met Brother John, on the job. Helping, volunteering, doing work in the community. And I actually taking pictures and doing video then.
Yeah.
So for the last 10, 12 years, I've probably taken nothing short of a few thousand pictures in our community. Community like special things. There's things going on and things that happen where there was nobody with a camera there. But you know what I mean? And sometimes I came down with some good images, and so to really put these images out. The one city, two different worlds. This is St. Petersburg. It was a preview.
Okay.
It was a beautiful thing. Big shots out to everybody that came through and showed love, all the way from Chicago, from Mississippi. We had people from Canada. Like, this was no cap. Sitting here talking to these people and like, whoa, how did you end up here?
Right.
Because y'all doing the work.
Yeah.
You're doing the work. You're doing y'all are trailblazers. So y'all are doing it. Y'all are dream work, right? Dream makers.
Thank you.
Dream makers. And so y'all making dreams come true. And so how do you eat an elephant? They say one bite at a time.
Thank you. We've been serving elephant all weekend.
Right.
We've been serving elephant all weekend.
I'm gonna say this again. He's back.
That's at least a 75 right there. That's a 78% right there.
No, but big shouts out to Tampa Bay Black Art and Film Festival. If you have not, go like the page on Facebook, Tampa Bay Black Art and Film Festival. Big shouts out to Carla Beers.
Yeah.
One Carla B. She started this probably 2016, 2017 on the Deuces, 909 Gallery. We actually screened our film Art in the City at the Royal Theater that year. So it was just called the Black Arts Festival.
Yeah.
But film is part of art, so we was at the Royal Theater. This was a historical event. We were at the Royal Theater. On the Beat St. Pete did their first show, which now goes by the name Power Plug Radio. The owners of Urban Drinkery and all the stuff they doing. Their first interview,
kickoff,
they interviewed me.
Right. It was during the Black Arts Film Festival.
These women now have a full-fledged internet radio station.
Right.
Like blazing Black history. Big shouts out to Charlene. Big shouts out to Sandra. Big shouts out to Jam in the
gotta throw Jam in there.
Yes, Big Ball and D. Big shouts out to the whole man cave.
Was on the Beat St. Pete.
Listen.
Big shout out to Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
Listen, see what I'm saying? See how that worked? And it was so amazing because that was one of my first interviews too. They just put the camera in my face, hey, go, and was asking me all these questions. And it was good questions. Right. And so history was made. Big shouts out to Carla B for creating that history for us.
So while we're ending, because we got 2 minutes. So you're looking at greatness, everybody that you talked about here in the show, this first hour, stayed consistent to their dream.
Yes.
Right.
And they did not veer off their path. And now you look at where they're at, it's amazing. It's like growth. Okay, it's like a child. You see them at 1, you be like, oh, you're so cute. And then you're 15, oh wow, you really blossom.
35.
Hey, ooh, yeah.
Hey, so listen, I got one. It's like when your battery dead and your phone down, and then it starts charging up. And you see that green thing going.
Okay, I
people grow.
I can see it. I can see it.
And I got a little more. I got another story to tell about the Black Arts Film Festival. We're going to do it on the other end of the break. So y'all stick and stay.
And we still have these Fergs bucks. We got to get these Fergs bucks.
Listen, Fergs has the Chicken Wing gang on point.
Right. So just tell them real quickly, what is a Ferg buck?
You spend the money at Fergs.
Yeah, that's it.
These are actually dollars that you can go to Fergs and get you some wings. Fergs wings. I said Fergs wings.
There you have it. Y'all.
Right.
Well, look, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back about 7 minutes after the hour. You're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on 99 Jams. You're going to hear a little bit of news for those who are on the radio. For those who are online, you're going to learn about the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club and how we started. So y'all stick around for it. We'll be right back with more right here on 99 Jams. The Bird.
The Bird.
That you didn't want to land.
Hello, I'm Gabe Ortiz, and this is WEDU Arts Plus.
Essentially left
Based
Northern
out of
Ireland
St. Pete,
in the
Tampa
single
Bay
market,
Breakfast
the European
Club is
Union
a morning
single
radio
market,
show
goods, but
about
of course,
hip-hop
the unionist
life and
community
urban culture.
felt that
Meet the
somehow made
hosts who inform
British.
and
You've got
empower
checks
their
now
listeners.
coming on goods from GB in Northern Ireland. So
I'm Jabbar Edmond. I go by
Mr. Edmond. My role, I'm a host and I'm co-founder.
My name is Brother John Muhammad, Your Brother John, yourbrotherjohn.com. And my role on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is host or co-host.
I just go by Kiana. Sometimes you may hear the guys call me Q. I may say Q just depending on my personality that day. And I'm the female of the crew. I think I keep balance when you look at the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. So that's my role.
And I'm Bruce Moore Jr. A lot of people do know Bruce Moore Jr., obviously being born and raised here and going to school here, but there's many more people that know Reno.
St. Peter's small, and so the good things and bad things that come with a small city, you know, everybody knowing each other, of course, would be one of the pluses.
My neighbors were not only just my neighbors, they became my family.
Trying to put that back now, like really getting back to a place where we know our neighbors and we look out for each other. There was a St. Pete that existed, you know, south of Central, and then there was another St. Pete that existed north of Central and downtown. It was a struggle then, and I think it's still, you know, somewhat a struggle for Black people in the city of St. Pete.
Even with every step of progress we make, it's still a struggle to, implement that progress.
Did y'all hear about the weed college, the first cannabis college in
Orlando?
Talk to us,
itself.
No, yeah, I've been looking at it.
This is serious, y'all.
Over a year ago.
If you got the charges, go and get the degrees, King. You got years of experience, man. It ain't like you come into a classroom with no data.
Elon Musk said that a drug dealer knows how to manage and run a business better.
I can't believe that.
The real facts, man.
I'm all about education. But what I'm saying is that we carry this industry on our backs.
The way we started the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, Jabbar approached me about what could we do, how can we do something together, and then an opportunity to promote Amendment 4. Amendment 4 is the, voting rights restoration to returning citizens. We were able to negotiate a deal where we got like 30 minutes on the radio at 99 Jams to talk about, Amendment 4 and other local, policies.
Officials from Israel, the Palestinian Authority, the United States, Jordan, and
to returning citizens. We were able to negotiate a deal where we got like 30 minutes on the radio at 99 Jams to talk about, Amendment 4 and other local, policies and politics. Enjoyed it, so we started doing it on Sundays as like a podcast with, at the time, Janet Michelle. She was our co-host and she, filled that role until she moved. And then we had Carla Bristol, Carla B. She came in for a season. And then Reno was behind the scenes. He was always present because we did organizing together, so he'd come and hang out. And then the things that he was saying off camera was like, man, we might as well just have you on the show.
The negative thoughts that you is thinking about right now, or any particular subject, y'all, just flip it.
Turn problems into opportunities.
Problems are opportunities, man. Big shouts out to Charles Soprano, man.
Real deal, man.
We on the jump board together right now. Just being around people and clearly always talking, I just felt like at least learn something, so as you see that you're not going to shut up, you can have substance to your conversation and not just be labeled somebody who just love to talk.
Really being informative, looking to give the information that isn't readily available in our community.
Multiple meteorologists can look at the same data and come up with a different forecast.
And so now you take those models, take that data and say, okay, based upon all of that,
absolutely,
you might be in between here and there, and that's my know what I'm saying speech. Most recently, after Carla B, transitioned out and went to do other things as well, Kiana, we invited Kiana.
I've been working with the guys for a while outside of this, and they called me to interview. And when I came in to interview that Sunday, after the show, they was like, hey, you need to be a part of the show. And I was like, okay.
I look at it almost like a band and the instruments, but it's just the instrument that we're using is our voices.
My voice is already kind of squeaky. I know my voice can get squeakier.
You have to have your radio voice on and have that vocal control.
I talk lower when I need to calm it down. And when I'm very passionate about it, I slow it down and because I want you to understand what I'm saying.
What's good for the geese is good for the gander. So if you keep it secrets, just know that she can too.
Okay, and see that's why Kiana, that's why you need it on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. You feel? Because you gonna even things out. You know what I'm saying? I was just joking. You know what I'm saying? It was joking.
We just understand power, you know, and in terms of people's attention, you know, because it costs. People's attention costs. That's why it's called pay attention.
We want to present local information right up there with, you know, the trending topics.
One thing that's a common denominator with all of us is that we're all passionate about our people.
For me, what you take from me is that I'm real and I'm passionate about the growth of our people.
The overall goal, I would say, is to have a more informed community. Around electoral politics, around health, around equity.
It's about the mission of connecting the dots and closing the gaps, inspiring people to see what's possible, you know, and trying to be an example. You know, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing sometimes, but you know, you do the best that you can with what you have, and you pray that others will be inspired to join in.
For more info, visit cdatcenter.org/Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
Members to a newly opened as part of an ongoing crackdown by President Nayib Bukele. Over the weekend, he shared images of prisoners wearing nothing but white shorts being rushed into the prison and sitting in rows with their heads down. The so-called Terrorism Confinement Center has a capacity of 40,000 and is now considered to be the largest prison in the
Hey, we ready? Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
This is Kiana.
What fully charged and I'm ready to go.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you're right. We're gonna tell you.
Yeah,
You're right. We're gonna
just like that.
So I think I like you at like 53%. Nah, you good. You.
Okay, hold on.
Wait, no.
In sugar packets.
No, don't do you. No.
Hold on. We loading up, y'all.
So this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka CDAT.
See that.
We would like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool.
Yeah, that's what we doing now.
Yeah,
that's what we doing.
So we're talking about redefining what's cool, talking about New Image Project. The fans, I saw this. I'm trying to find it. Let me find this.
The fans that love us,
not the fans that love us. Fans bash Ciara for making a new song about girls that don't need a man when she is happily married.
So let me tell you,
she's a happily married mother.
So, and I'm glad we're coming to this, right?
Okay.
And I'm not going to speak first on this, but I'm going to just interject. So,
no, you speaking first.
But I'm going to interject. No, this ain't speak first. I'm going to let you speak first, but I'm just interject. Okay. And my interjection is that Plies also made a video about his mama, who's a fiercely independent woman. She raised him. He gave her props to raise him. Said he loves his mama, and then he entered into the conversation that they be having of when she say, "Oh, I'm a strong woman. I don't need no man. I don't need no man talking to me any kind of way. I don't need no man. I can do it all myself." So Plies' whole speech was simply saying, "Hey, mom, the people who set this thing up set it up for a team. They set it up for him and a her, or he and a she, or however you want to put your group together." Yeah. And it's meant for us to work together and be together. And don't be so independent. Don't be so fiercely independent that you're single and you're alone trying to do a team sport on your own.
Okay,
so you know what I'm saying?
On your own, but because you're so strong, you figure that you can carry it.
So it's my interjection about the strong superwoman. We love Superwoman.
Yeah, I think you got a little ahead of me, but that's all right. Because here's what I want to do. Let me tell you. Let me tell the people who might not know or might not have heard about this story. So they call her a hip hop artist too, by the way, in this article. It's like Ciara R&B, hip hop. She like that Mary J type R&B though, like that hip hop with that, you know.
Yeah, most of them
like with Mary J. Don't she got bars? She be rapping.
Not really, but okay.
Okay, yeah.
So artist Ciara, she's under fire after she teased the new single called "For the Girls." The lyrics encourage women to be independent and not to look for a man for anything, but fans can't help but notice that Ciara has been happily married for years.
How you know this happy? Right?
Social media,
right?
You
don't know how her independent life is with Russell
Wilson.
You know what I'm saying? Because she came off a hardcore relationship with Future.
Yeah.
And then her and Future was a hot popular. They was all over TV. And then her and Russell got together. So she might be independent still. She might be doing anything.
Yeah, and then the other part for me is like, what other art form besides hip hop do you expect the people who to actually live the life that they're rapping about and singing about?
Preaching. We were just talking about
I'm
gonna get to my pulpit section, my church section, but the church, the pastor.
Okay,
we look for the pastor.
But that's not necessarily an art form. I'm talking about entertainment. These are entertainment.
Have you ever seen?
I'm talking about
preacher on Sunday in the South.
So is
it's an art.
Is he entertaining?
Yeah, a good preacher is entertaining.
Okay,
and so I'm not taking nothing away from.
So can we frame it in industries?
Yes.
When we talk about the entertainment
industry, faith industry has a form of entertainment to it.
So in the entertainment industry that we was thinking of when we talked about the New Image Project.
So we won't have a preacher on the New Image Project? Yeah.
We could, but that ain't what I'm talking about in this moment. In this moment, I'm talking about like country western singers.
Yes.
Like, do they expect them to be going through what they sing about?
Oh yeah.
Or like the blues singers, like you got people
who
sing the blues.
Anyway, so when you look at
expect for the man who's singing about his dog.
This is the expert.
You expect for the man who's singing about his dog.
So in there, so music connects with people, right? No.
We gonna cancel that song. If you sing about your woman cheating
in the country, they don't got that pressure.
Yeah. No, they do. They still have that pressure as well. Like when you look at music connects to people. This is why music is universal across the board. Like you don't have to understand the language to understand music.
Okay.
Right? And then I did not interrupt you at all.
You asked
I did.
Got what you asked for.
I did.
This what you wanted.
Keep going.
I actually said 53.
Okay.
I said 53.
I got you.
Go ahead.
But no, but yeah, and then people go through different stuff, heartbreaks. So when you listen to country and you talking about Tennessee whiskey, you know what I mean? You heard that song before.
I think so.
I think I have, yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, yo, until you came in, I was down and out. So people think that when you write these music, it's a glimpse in your life. When Beyonce dropped her album and was talking about cheating, everybody's like, oh, Jay-Z cheating. Yeah. Faith Hill when they do it. But see, because we're typically not in those other genres like that, so we don't put as much emphasis on it. Yeah. But people who are do.
That's interesting to me. I think it's because like when you watch a movie, right? You know that these people are acting.
No, but you get more credence. Know that they're on the stunt, right? So,
but see,
so like Tom Cruise,
you have a Tom Cruise
his own
stuff. Y'all see him hanging out the plane, and you know he's really hanging out that plane.
Okay,
you take to that cat a little better, like when you know, what's the black dude with karate, Wesley Snipes.
Okay,
when you know Wesley Snipes really punching and kicking these people.
Yeah,
it takes what you're doing to another level. And I'm going to give you an example with Milli Vanilli.
Okay, so here you go.
Found out Milli Vanilli wasn't really singing. It ended their career.
Well, it did. So
they wasn't performing.
It's the maximum.
I'm talking about the content.
Okay, so here you go.
Like the lyrics.
This is the difference from actors and singers. Actors play a character.
And singers are playing.
No, but in mine, people don't see singers or like. Wait, hold. But this is, but even if it's not, that's who she is every day of the day. Actors change their names, their characters.
Prince?
Yeah, that was his name.
No, yeah, and you.
So is Marvin Sapp name really Marvin Sapp?
That doesn't matter.
See,
no.
Like you have entertainers that are playing characters.
Right, they do, but they're constantly, they do not switch their role. When you are a singer, you do not switch your role.
You gotta call them.
Does that make sense to you?
My call us. Thank you. saving us.
No.
Straighten this out. That's no problem. Carla, how you doing?
Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing today?
Good morning, Huey.
I just on that subject, y'all. So I guess they feel like they're being deceived because Sierra married, but that's the same way like the dude Rico Suave. Everybody thought he was a ladies' man until they found out he was gay.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So and then somebody else might have wrote the song, so that might have been how that person was feeling. But you just an entertainer that sang the song. You just a R&B artist that sang the song. You didn't write the song. You didn't do nothing. That song was just written for you to sing. It would be like uncharacteristic to be thinking they live in that life when their job is to sing a song that maybe somebody else wrote.
They're performing.
They are performing.
They're performing.
Yeah.
And that's the other part of it. Like,
So
what other genre do we have that demand you to live the life that you actually singing about?
Rap.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
I'm just saying, when I say all genre of music, they have that because Faith Hill is always gonna be Faith Hill, right? And Diddy, even though he changed his name, always in that character. When you look at Wesley Snipes, he done been Blade. He done been, he done been so many different characters. So, no, you expect that character to sell drugs. If you're a good actor, then you buy into what they're saying. But Beyonce is Beyonce, so you think that is the character throughout her life. She doesn't switch.
So you expect her to.
That's what people but just think about it. When you connect to her, you think that she's telling, like, you know her. That's her friend. That is true, but in your mind, regardless, that is a persona of who she is. So let me say this. So since we talked about Sierra, I will say as a woman, I think the worst thing that happened to Black women was the independent woman.
Okay.
What? This is the whole show.
We're
gonna put a pin in it.
Black women was the independent woman.
And what they see that was a strategy. But go ahead.
But I think the independent woman, I think that we are strong, but and we have to do what we need to do and we're resilient. But as far as being an independent woman, I don't want to be a woman that has to do what people are supposed to do, right? And I say this all the time, like, God don't make no mistakes. You have 2 eyes, you have 2 nostrils, you got 2 lips, you got 2 ears. We are supposed to go in pairs.
All them 2 make a team.
Right. And so when you take away part of the partner, take away the other, you take away part of the team, and then there's stuff that you cannot do because you don't have a partner or it's not done at its top. Because so yeah, I think, and this is Kiana speaking, and y'all can backlash me later if you want, but I'm still gonna stand with this, is that independent woman, it was crippling to the Black community.
We will talk about it more on Wednesday.
Yeah.
This is powerful because I never verbally heard you say that. Like, that kind of made me feel like that. But because you say it so much about relationships and stuff. So, but the reality is, there is a program that has been set to make us spiritually independent because it's easier to rule an oppressed person or people when they're divided.
Right.
The division makes the team weaker. So splitting us by our relationships and by little pairs, having women on hood and houses and saying the daddy can live in the house.
Which is so, and again,
that's almost ripping the family apart.
That ain't, no, that's not almost, it is ripping the family apart. So if you want a society to thrive and you want a family to thrive, why would you separate them? And if you want them off of housing and HUD and everything, why won't you put them together so then they can build a foundation and get out? So and then what happened is you make this independent woman because you strip the man out of the household and said that she can't be in there. Now she has to work double hard to get out of this hole that she's already in, and then have to raise these kids without a man in the household because you don't want him to be in there.
So it's like basically the genius of it is like if you know that you're playing a team sport. And you can win if you got a stronger team. The person who can break up the team They put themselves at an advantage.
A good coach tells you not to let your opponent get in your head.
And I will tell you this. So let me back with Sierra.
So
You just thought about that.
Yeah.
No, I thought about schools. I thought about what we talked about churches, and they all in our head.
Listen, don't let the other team get in your head.
Now I'm gonna say this: Sierra cannot win because when Sierra was no. When would you listen? No, she can't win with the fans because when she was giving advice on how to get a husband, everybody bashed her about that. Now that she's telling you, she did because she was just saying like you don't need to act like this. Like she was just kind of giving
telling her secret to her,
you know,
come on, calm down.
And then you know they bashed her about that, and now that she's and however the case may be, and she did the other side of the pancake. They bashed her for that. Now she giving you what you want, your back. You can't please everybody, Sierra. Just do the music you want to do. It's entertainment. Somebody gonna love the independent woman, somebody ain't.
Yeah. And it said that some of the fans are supporting Sierra. Those who are supporting her and explaining that the song is dedicated to her. So she basically dedicated that song to herself. She was younger, single mom, met her current husband. They claim that the song will help single mothers feel confident while they look for a husband who will help them raise their family. However, the lyrics are pretty clear. This is for the girls that don't need no man. This is for the girls who's in love with themselves. These types of songs have a bigger impact on our culture than we sometimes like to admit.
Are we overthinking?
No.
I'm just asking.
Because that's why we have to understand that the music set to a real program, right? And we have to be vigilant about what program we put in us because that's how they get in your head.
Right.
So I'm gonna say this. When the last time you heard Sierra song on the radio? No, new songs.
No, I guess this is new.
No, but no. When the last time you heard a Sierra new song hit the radio wave on a consistent basis?
This is bigger than Sierra. Sierra is right now is just a symbol.
You didn't answer the question.
That's what I'm saying. I don't listen to the radio. I listen to classical music.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Your
See,
question was rhetorical. Like it wasn't really.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm asking.
No, we don't listen to Sierra. No, we don't listen to Sierra. Know it.
That's why I said it was rhetorical. Like,
I am. No, I was putting it out there because Sierra music ain't hit the airwaves.
Sierra has influence. Everybody has a certain realm or world.
Yeah, and hers is not just music now because she's a social media influencer. And a lot of her influences
her posts, her tweets, and her pictures. Remember those pictures they did on Valentine's Day with their family? That was lovely. I think I like it.
But so her celebrity status is bigger than her connected to her music.
Yeah, but we're talking about her music. And then what I'm saying is that no. But so what I'm saying, right. Okay. So what I'm saying is her music is not penetrating the industry. I'm not. These are facts. Like these are like you look at this.
Little boy.
No, I'm not trying to.
She ain't on the radio. She can say whatever you want.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
They kind of sounded like that.
Okay, well, if you
love Sierra.
I don't dislike Sierra.
Y'all remember that Sierra? Somebody called in.
I'm just saying is that, like, honestly, we're going to be talking about this today, and then we're going to forget about it tomorrow.
We're going to talk about Wednesday. We're going to talk about independent women, and we're going to post it. We'll put it on the comments so people can talk about it ahead of time because we really need to start discussing this.
Okay, so, and I think I saw it worded this way on one of those things, like is being called a strong independent woman a compliment, and we'll put that.
My God,
that'll be the topic for Wednesday.
And I have a whole dissertation on it, right? And I'm ready to deliver.
Okay. For those who would like to hear Mr. Edmonds' presentation, y'all tune in to What's on Your Mind Wednesday.
Because it's still gonna be on his mind. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Let's just ask Kiana real quick.
Okay.
Have the scoop, but
okay, go ahead.
So ask Kiana. A man has 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
He teaches the boy to use the condom if he has sex. He teaches the girl not to have sex. What are your thoughts on that?
Wow. Terrible. I mean, honestly, you have to teach them both. The
mama teach the daughter. Why does the father have to teach the daughter?
Because the father is the one teaching. I mean, if he's gonna take on the role,
I respect it. I just had to
no, this is what I'm saying. If the parents agree that hey, the mother's gonna do, but if the dad already stepped in the role and said, hey, you don't have, so that means he's already took responsibility for the sex conversation. And then
any dad is gonna tell his daughter, I don't know what he should do or what he shouldn't do. I'm gonna tell you what he probably ain't gonna do is tell his daughter about having sex, especially like you're gonna be like, no, don't do it. Like I mean, you know reality, but as a father, you're not gonna like and promote and encourage your daughter
in no way, shape, or form.
So, and I'm gonna tell you this:
it's a large percent of fathers, not all. Some dads don't leave him, but I know some fathers who like really give their daughters, and I think that really give their daughters the point blank game.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
I was too, but like it was always don't do it for me. And then my wife,
do it.
I guess that's the whole point of the 2-parent household and being able to have that balance because my wife can get balance to it. Because if you come and ask me,
don't you do it?
But you only have girls.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you didn't have to tell a guy, a son, like.
But if I did, I'd probably be like this guy.
Well, I'll say you
talking about. But no, that's a power.
He teaches his boy to use condom if he has sex, and he teaches his girls not to have sex.
Wow.
But then you said, but you want me you set your girls up for failure.
You got both. You handle it.
I'm like this guy.
Just like this guy.
Listen, you know what I'm saying?
But you said
I've been blessed with parents, baby mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of like really swing hard for her daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah.
But I'm just saying
that was your conversation is don't do it.
Don't you do it.
But you set
I don't know what to do.
So
I don't know what to do.
First of all, you set your daughters up for failure.
Now, if the mama coming clean with the
but the mothers can, but if you're having the conversation, because we're talking about the fathers,
okay.
And then it should be really a blanket conversation at this point. Like
in our house.
Right. Here we go. Like if you're gonna have the sex conversation, hey, you want to be safe. You don't want to give it up to anybody who don't mean anything to you. You want to say
wait, don't give it up to anybody who don't mean anything to you.
But I mean, this is
what happened to like don't give it up till you get married. Like
you don't have that conversation.
Well, let's don't give it up. So how do you
want to say? But did you
somebody who means something to you? Like,
at
13. Oh man,
let's pull the
So let's pull. So I mean, this is reality of it. You want to tell your kids like, "Yo, I want you to wait till you get married." You want to promote that as much as you can, right?
But
you do because it may happen. But if you have to, but you want them to be prepared for life, and then for you to be in the bubble and say, "Hey, they're gonna." I was a teen mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? My mom told me not to have sex till I get married. I said, okay. You know what I mean? No.
Okay, all right, I got you.
No, I get it.
You know what I mean? Like, no, I was a teen mom.
Yeah.
A matter of fact, my best friend, we've been best friends since we were 2 years old. Her parents I promise you,
told me the story.
Just said that he don't trust me and Shaquan.
Okay.
They just said that because we were sitting in the living room having a talk about saving yourself till you get married. They was giving us rings.
Promise ring.
About keeping your virginity. I was pregnant.
Already.
At the time when they was having
yes.
Took a promise ring already.
Oh.
You know, but this is when you
that's a real reality.
So this is the thing. Okay. When you have this conversation, you have to put life in here and put yourself back where you was at. Yeah. Once puberty set in, there's urges that regardless of that you can only do so much. And the best thing you could do for your kids is give them the real and be honest about what happens. And like when I was a teen mom, and part of the conversation that I had with Cheyenne, and thank God she wasn't a teen mom, is that because I made bad decisions, even though I love you dearly, you had to suffer some of the consequences for the decisions that I made.
But I heard you say that, right? I get Cheyenne, a national recording artist, a consummate professional. You know what I'm saying? And I hear you say that I made mistakes, but was that mistake really that bad? You actually made some very good decisions throughout that scenario. And you raised a beautiful, smart daughter, right? I hear that pregnant. Come on, you know how many people was pregnant at 16?
Right. But I want to tell you.
You get what I'm saying? The stigma that's being put on our women, and then it's causing a whole bunch of abortions, causing people to feel bad about themselves when they do it. And it's like a double-edged sword because honestly, like B1 Bow Wow, puberty hit at that age.
Right.
Nature says, hey, it's that time.
Right. It does. And so when this is why I say you have to set your kids up for reality.
Right.
You cannot tell them. That's why I'm trying to say, like, you got to properly.
I'm talking tough, but we did. We shot them straight. Like,
right.
But it was more upsetting what the expectation is. Like, let's start here. But if you then
right, I used to.
Like, if you really want to make me the happiest father ever, then you do this.
Right.
But if you do not do that, make sure you do this. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do this.
You know, like I used to, because all the kids hung out at my house, right? I'm everybody's mom, right? I used to pull up like STDs and put them on the computer, right? And then they'll walk. I'm like, oh, what's that? That's what happened if you have sex. Like I used to
going on with all the kids coming
you know what I mean? Like this is what happens when you have unprotected sex. This is when you sleep around. You know, so these are things that I gave them, but it was a blanket, regardless if you were boy or girl, because it affects you the same moment.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So go ahead. You want to read some comments?
I take some. So Yubi says maybe they are two different ages.
That is true.
Yeah, you be thinking. I was thinking that.
My wife says fathers have a lot of power and say in the conversation. A lot of daughters value their father's opinion.
They do.
So I want to say that, and this is a very important conversation we're having. We're just outskirts of the conversation, but as you go deeper, because some of the highest new HIV rates in the Black community are young ladies.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to go ahead and stare it in the eye. And it's probably because we're having these conversations with our sons and not our daughters, right? Yeah. Maybe, right? Because it may be a lot of
we having them in a way like what you said, where we setting them up for failure. Because like just looking at the lay of the land, very few people are going to listen to that. Don't have sex.
Till you get married.
And even that don't have, like, they might listen
to
more
to that. So let's stare it right in the eye. Come on, Sway.
But you know, the people who listen, I'm going to say, no.
Everybody was married when they got the babies.
No, it wasn't. But I will tell you.
Yeah.
So what happened?
But I think it wasn't. It just wasn't accepted.
That's religious dogma.
It wasn't accepted.
You say that, but there's a lot of people born out of wedlock.
I get that.
But it was a lot of young marriages too.
That's
a lot of people married. A lot of people got married at 14, 17.
Having sex before marriage.
Okay, I can dig that too.
That's how they started the shotgun wedding.
Okay.
My daughter pregnant, and you're not going to be a disgrace to my family.
So they got married. That was shotgun. I thought shotgun just mean it happened real fast.
No, but that's
shotgun was like, okay, you just
because the father would say,
like, okay, what y'all gonna do?
Right. So what happened is, so just think, what happened is you get your daughter, somebody get their daughter pregnant, the father find out, and they was like, oh no, you finna not disgrace my family. He take the shotgun. Yeah. And bring it and like, what you finna marry or you finna die today?
But listen, this is the issue we've been dealing with in this society for a very long time, and that we take harder on ourselves. But like I say, we do have a rising epidemic as far as those HIV and those STD rates, and we got to have these conversations probably at a younger age. Younger than we think we have to.
That's kind of the debate in school right now, right?
What's Charlene or somebody at?
But I'm saying when you say having the conversation at a younger age, that's when you start getting into the conversation about what you want taught in your children's school. Like, at what age do you teach about, sex.
That's a crutch, right? Because we're talking about parents.
Okay,
right? Because one of the things I think we already have overcompensated with schools. We think the schools, we feel schools should do way more than they probably really should do.
I agree.
Right? And we don't have some we're trying to take some accountability off parents, and we need to lay some more on the parents.
So if in a perfect world, they work hand in hand together. Right? Whatever you learn in school, you're supposed to go home and your parents is supposed to enhance it. Like the parents should not just, if school is just teaching your children, you're doing them a disservice.
Absolutely.
Right? And so, I mean, we all grew up with sex education in elementary and it went on up. I remember you signed. Yes, fourth. No, they did. No. 4th and 5th grade. They stopped. Okay.
What school you went to?
Bear Creek. Private. No, I went to Bear Creek. I went to Bear Creek Elementary.
That's a public-private partnership.
No.
Sex education, maybe like
it was
might have
basic.
been like 7th grade.
No, it was so.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I was advanced classes, so I think I got it at like 6th grade. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
I remember having the permission slip.
She was in the 7th grade class.
Yeah, something like that. 6 and a half.
So I remember getting the permission slip. You know, they getting it signed or to have this conversation. And so 5th grade, Short Acres.
The first thing came to my mind. Get freaky.
But you know, it just tell you how the men, women's body work. You know, and so
like an anatomy conversation.
Right, but that was your first sex ed conversation.
Anatomy,
formalized.
Yeah, that's what
like if you had older cousins. They was.
But listen, was that proper? See, that's what they kicking. That's the can they kicking right now.
Yeah.
Right. Was that proper? Yeah. What is proper and what's improper, especially when you're talking about now, you know, different genders.
Yeah.
You know, same sex situations.
Yeah.
So people trying to find a spot that's comfortable.
So I'm gonna say this to you.
Like in our days, it was pretty straightforward. It was, you know, man, woman, boy, girl. But now the times have changed. When you talk about sex, you're talking about, you know, LGBTQ plus and all of this thing. And I think that's when they start stepping in, saying, "Okay, let's wait."
So,
we had this.
But I can't. I mean, you can't. If for me, and this is for me, is that like you can't open that can of worms and then leave half of it untalked about. Like you can't be an advocate for something and not for the other. It's like the yin and yang. You can't say let them be who they are, but then do not address the issues that may come with it because kids are having sex at school. You said they get suspended.
Yep.
All this stuff is happening.
Yeah, you gotta be confronted.
And then you gotta confront it. Like you can't confront half of the problem and then ignore the rest of it. Oh no, they can't. No, you can't do it.
Y'all call in and give us your thoughts.
Yes, 727-637-2416. Join the conversation.
We're talking about a man who has 2 children. He teaches the boy to use a condom if he has sex. He teaches the girl not to have sex at all. And we want to know what your thoughts are.
But I will say it's age related.
Yeah, it's always different ages.
But it's more than age. I think it's maturity.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Some people were at an age, but some people were at maturity. I know some 11-year-olds doing what adults do and still probably doing what they was doing at 10 and 11. You get what I'm saying? Like that, mature. So
you have to know your children.
You got to know, you got to know who you're dealing with, what this child has been through, what this child has seen.
Well, I would,
right. Some people, you know, it's so many gradients.
Your relationship.
Yes, and you got to talk to them
your understanding
and reach them a certain way
so
because of what they did.
I will tell you this: it don't matter who you are, Mother Nature kicks in, right? It doesn't matter. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Grand Rising.
It's Shonda.
Hey.
It's Shonda. So I wanted to chime in on that because as a parent of boys, well, I have an older boy and girls. It is a different structure because boys boys you're a little bit more lenient with because a boy's gonna be a boy regardless.
See, that's what they
Your little girl, you're gonna want to protect your little girl. So basically, you're gonna make sure there's quote unquote no sex, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Being that my son is 23, I still don't want him to do anything. But if he is, that's what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I want him to make sure he's protected.
No, I got
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Hey,
I'm with
that's a whole lot. Look,
So I'm gonna say, can I say this
Yeah,
right
go
quick?
ahead.
And this is why it's more important for you because if a baby comes in a situation, the baby's going home with the mother.
Yep.
Right? At a teen, most times it is. Sometimes in a but
I get it.
yeah.
Go ahead.
And so you know what? So the person that it impacts more
Mother.
is the mother. And then we get the
That
less.
ain't fair.
That life ain't fair. Life ain't fair.
Because I hear you. And it impacts mother tremendously because she carries
But
the
we
baby.
don't subscribe to all, right?
But
We
no,
don't.
I get that because I mean you have like guys who man, I got a baby on the way.
Listen, and it changed.
We
Yeah.
but we talk about mother's baby, dad's baby.
So
that's real.
Sharonda said that have to raise the flag.
I got another flag.
Just one of the things she said, a boy is going to be a boy regardless.
Ooh, what is that? What?
A boy is going to be a boy regardless. But here's the thing: so when we talk about boys, like and protecting our children, we're protecting our daughters from boys that we know are going to be boys regardless.
And so
how about on the boys so we don't have to protect our daughters as much?
Okay, let me say this.
We gotta do that. You gotta raise guys that your daughter's not gonna, you know what I mean? That's not right.
So how about if we raise our sons to know that that's somebody's daughter?
You
And
should.
you're going to be somebody's father too at some point.
If you,
like really having that conversation.
I talk about this all
It's not just in the moment. Like,
but this is the problem. It's not a problem, but this is the fact that went up. Like this David said. You know what I'm saying? His son 23, and you want to make sure they stay with. Like if he has bad 23. Well, I'm asking you what's he doing. Right? What is he doing? What? 23, what is he doing?
Yeah, there ain't too many 23-year-olds.
Listen, I need you to hold it down, man.
Okay. Just sidebar real quick. We still got these Ferg books. $20. Somebody tell us
anything you know. Just call it
Black History. No, tell us somebody famous here in for Black History. You get 20. This is the last day of it. So please, because we want to get $20. But we're not gonna be here.
Yeah, no, I got it. So get the Ferg book.
Yeah, please. But yeah, back to the thing. Go ahead.
My wife, she said, when you teach one and not the other, the one you don't teach is the one who might go out and speak. You get them both together and teach them. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
That's great parenting.
Hey.
You pick and choose. Caller.
Hello.
Caller, you there?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Yes.
Give us your name. What's on your mind?
Good morning. This is Dr. Jordan.
Hey, how you
Calling
doing?
and I'm listening to your comments. One of the things I think is so important in raising a family, and that is having a standard even before children are born. So if the mother and father are together, or even if it's a single father, single family, single person raising the children, there needs to be a standard. And if the standard is there and you follow the standard, then I think that's going to solve a whole lot of problems. My daddy used to say an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And for many African American families, the Bible or the Word of God is the standard. And so, the Bible says to raise up a child in the way he should go. In order to raise a child in the way that should go, the parents need to know what that way is. And so, no matter what the child thinks in the home, if the child is taught what the real way is, if the child is taught what the standard is, then it's going to be left up to the child, no matter how old the child is, which way the child goes. So
I'm talking about the standard rather than the way we just want to do our own thing and what does the society say and how did Joe raise his house. But if we have a standard, I believe is the word of God, then all of us are left with a decision as to which way we're going to go.
I agree. Thank you for that, Dr. Jordan. I appreciate you calling in and,
Yeah.
and introducing that, because that's what we were talking about earlier is how you set that standard and those expectations, right? And I think that's what we talk about disappointment. Disappointment is rooted in expectation. And so if you're, in this case, like a double standard, right? Like number one, it's okay to do it if you take these precautions. You're telling the other ones not to do it at all. That's the double standard.
And then the crazy part is you need both of them to do it.
Oh, yeah.
You can't. One can't do it without the other.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So you set the standard for all
across the board. Like this is what you need to. You can't prepare one without the other, and think that it's going to be okay for one and not the other. You know.
Yeah. So another comment from my wife. She says, "Then, or if your daughter gets pregnant, then you're going to be saying she should have or could have, but you didn't. Now you're upset."
Right.
But yeah, and then I think also that conversation about what you shouldn't do and you're telling them not to do it. I think my wife might have put it in here too. You setting up a situation for them to start sneaking and feeling like they come to you when they want to do it because like you've already not to. So now it's like kind of the Adam and Eve in the garden scenario. Like you told them don't touch that tree. They're like, why not? And then in this case, it could be the son that you told it's all right. You have a condom, so he coming up saying, "Hey, I know what your daddy told you." But
and then so yeah, you really got to be careful with it. But I also believe in not just saying because I'm your mother or just because. I believe in giving roadmaps and and showing painting a picture. So once you start to go down the path that I asked you not to go through, you'll start to see the stop signs and the red lights that I prepared you for. And then that may stop you from continuing. Right. Like I mean,
that's if everything works. You want to hopefully trigger something, but as you know what I'm saying, I'm a more of a prevention person. So I really want you to listen while I'm telling you. Don't go through it. Don't bump your head and say, "Oh, I bumped my head," and then I gotta say, "I told you."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm learning not to say that, right?
I told you so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't do it as I'm smart and I know. I do it as like a status check.
Yeah.
Right. I do it
just like as a reminder.
This is an update, my guy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying this and that, but let's review what we talked about and what happened and what didn't happen.
Right.
And did I tell you or did I not tell you?
Right.
Or did you right or what? You know what I'm saying? And it's not like because I was talking about this with Reno. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, because that's an ego. But I'm like in my mindset, I agree 10,000%. But then there's another side of that pancake. Well, we have to be able to assess the information we're giving each other.
Right.
We have to be emotionalist and be able to take the opinion or the advice or the critique and use it and then not be in our feelings because you keep telling me you told me so.
Right? But you can't. I agree with you, and I think we're kind of saying the same thing. Is that when you assess? So if I say, "Hey, Jabbar, don't go to Lake McGorry because it's dangerous out there," and you be like, "What's so that you want me to tell you is that as soon as you hit that red light, somebody gonna hit you, right? And on your way there." The police is going to pull you over. And then you get to that red light before you get there, somebody hit you. That's going to make you like, oh, wait, hold on. Do I want to get stopped by the police?
Yeah.
And it may make you turn around. Yeah. Instead of you just saying, hey, don't do it because you want somebody to listen. So when you want somebody to listen, you got to tell them.
Yeah. And here's I guess the ideal scene, like, especially when you're dealing with your children.
Yeah.
You would like to have them have that experience as less as possible.
Right.
Right. So it's like, okay, yeah, I know. Like what you want to do is establish the pattern of like them being able to trust what you tell them is right. And not too late. That's that's all about. Yeah, you just want them to establish the pattern. Like, okay, yeah, like 9 times out of 10, what my parents told me I should have listened to. So what you do is you start listening more than you don't listen.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the goal. And so you gotta, as a parent, you want to keep talking, you want to keep telling them, and you also want to remind them every now and then, like, yeah, remember we talked about that.
And you want to have a safe space where your kids feel like, and still do. Because I know, like, I used to be like, listen, I don't care how mad I get, you're still my child, and I'm still gonna have your best interest. Let me help you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let me be upset, but I'm gonna help you. I can't help you if you don't talk to me.
And you made me think of something real important. Safe spaces have to be maintained in every conversation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That space becomes to get less and less safe in some people's mind because of some things we say.
Right.
Like I told you so.
So I think I talked about this on the radio before. In my household, we used to have the non-judgment zone, right? And so it was a jar, and so we would write down things, throw it in there, and then we'll pick a day of the week. We're having a good day, and we pull it out and we read it. Nobody's upset. We don't take it personal, but these are issues that need to be, hashed out.
That's good parenting. That's good too.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, if you're mad at me, and like one of the things that, like, when Cheyenne got older, she told me, like, I talked at her and not to her. Okay. You know what I mean? And so I had to change it because I had to hear what she said.
Yeah.
You know,
she can really articulate herself too. I done heard y'all sitting there talking. And I'm like, oh, communication is yes, clear, very nice. Hey, Mom.
So Mama Blue says, yes, you can place the standard, but children also want to test the waters, thinking maybe there won't be a consequence.
Mama Blue.
So true.
At the end of the day, children have their own path they take. We can teach them, talk to them, but they're going to experience in life, and each one have different experiences. Hopefully they learn from them.
This is true. You can't save them from everything. I think kids' job is to push the boundaries. Parents' job is to pull them back in and say, hey, you went too far. And if you do a good job, like I said, when they get grown, you become their mentor and no longer their dictator.
Idea. So check this out. So there was actually a case here, still talking about children and families. So there's a fetus of a jailed pregnant woman. The lawyer says the baby was illegally detained. So Miami lawyer for a pregnant woman currently in Miami jail is arguing that the woman's unborn baby was illegally imprisoned and that the fetus's incarceration is a violation of his constitutional rights according to court documents. Basically, now I ain't gonna even base it. I'm gonna go in and read it. It says in the court petition. Hold on. Whew, this is heavy, right? So yeah, I got a basic.
Yeah, basically.
So basically, what's happening is the mother was in an overcrowded Uber. They said, got into an argument with somebody, shot that person in the thing. When she shot the person, she was 7 weeks pregnant. Now she's in prison. She's like 7 months pregnant, and the lawyers are arguing that the baby, her unborn child, has been illegally detained, and that they're arguing that the baby should be released.
In a moment,
and because the baby's not getting the proper care that the child needs, being locked up. And this is going into like another one of the. It's really one of them cases around when does life start and when does your individually begin. And so that's kind of what the shot is. But it says that she was 6 weeks pregnant at the time.
So she probably didn't know she was pregnant.
In the fear of her unborn child.
Stop it, because she probably didn't even know she was pregnant at 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Ooh,
okay, no, I got that. But it says during that time, the lawyer claims that officials failed to take her to her scheduled prenatal appointments and refused to provide her with the required prenatal vitamins and nutritional supplements. Respondents have knowingly neglected to have unborn child. That's what they're calling the plaintiff. Respondents have knowingly neglected to have unborn child transported to the OBGYN to provide medically necessary care and treatment, commonly referred to as prenatal care. That's according to the court documents. They also claim that she was left in a transport van with no air conditioning for an extended period of time, 100-degree temperatures. They also argued that the lawyers have expressed clear intent to recognize the unborn child as a human being and saying that the unborn child is unnecessarily being detained.
So this feels like a Supreme Court. It feels like they has a chance to make a president, right? Because there's plenty of even Tupac was born in prison. His mama was pregnant. So this is really a game changer as far as I'm concerned.
So
if it goes through.
I'm gonna say I feel about this, and y'all might about somebody breaks in your house and they get cut, and then they sue you.
Okay.
That's how I feel about this.
A little different. Because
But-
this is 2 lives.
It is
Because if she was pregnant and God forbid something happened to her and she was murdered, the murderer would be charged with both murders. They wouldn't be charged with just killing the mother. They'd be charged with killing the child. as
But
well.
is she not getting any prenatal care?
I don't know.
Because she still has to go to the doctors.
I mean, just depending on what he had. Oh, it's Florida. So in
But
Florida,
listen,
probably
but
ain't the
listen,
same.
But she probably is because they're advocates for keeping children. They don't even want you to. They don't want you to have abortions here.
It's
That's why
historic.
That's why this case is.
But it's historic for people or women to be under taken care of while pregnant.
Yeah,
like I've read about this all over.
So do we set a different prison like jail system for them until they have their kids?
No, what this lawsuit is saying that the child can't be locked up because he did nothing wrong.
Yeah,
But
that's what
but
they're
then
saying.
when you
illegally detaining
so
the child.
listen,
Yeah.
when if this
Yeah,
passes,
that's
this gives
exactly what they said.
this
I
gives
know.
the fetus like an almost new status. What's the status they already been fighting for?
Yeah.
Some people already been fighting for, but
personhood is what they
yeah,
call it.
but through the court system to win something like this, that's why they're gonna fight it all the way to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Because it changes and it may make you go to jail for having an abortion.
Yeah.
Right. This is what I'm going to say. This is going to flip. This is going to make
It's big.
it.
Yeah, it's a big
It's
deal.
if you push this narrative, then you take the rights of a woman to decide what she's going to do with her body. So, like right now, when there's like a 15-week, 18-week ban here, now that if this is pushed, that like this fetus has a lot, then you know what? No abortions can happen anymore.
I think that's the direction of it. And it says that this.
And
this
that's why I
case-
don't like it.
This case, they said, is the latest in a series of fetal personhood cases that have followed
Personhood.
fetal personhood. These cases have followed the fall of Roe versus Wade. Earlier this year, Virginia legislature filed a bill allowing the fetus to count as a passenger in a high occupancy vehicle or in high occupancy lanes. So, like in the carpool lanes, they're counting fetuses now as a part of the carpool. Also, in August, in Georgia, state officials decided that unborn babies could be claimed as dependents in Georgia. So if you have an unborn baby, you can actually claim that.
And so a lot of this stuff makes sense, right? Take care of the child while you're home. So that's why I say it's interesting. Let's watch it. Let's see how it play out. Because
I'm a woman. I mean, honestly, I'm not liking it.
okay, that's who you call
Yeah,
out.
yeah, like you know, and this is right off the top of the. So I'm really gonna have to sit in this because I want us to make sure that we have our rights, right? And when you pull something all the way over, you might get something you don't like.
So let's revisit it on Wednesday. We got a lot we're going to talk about on what's going to be Wednesday. So y'all make sure that y'all tap in. You listen to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. What are your final thoughts if you had to do it in 60 seconds or less?
Okay, my final thought is because of Tampa Bay Black Art and Film Festival. If you missed it, you can go online and follow it and join it. Big shout out to the whole team putting together Cranston coming back. Miss Debbie Yachty and the whole team. Thank y'all so much for all y'all do. Big shout out to Carla Bristol. Thank y'all and see y'all Wednesday.
Be the change you want to be. Right on those 5 things. So we got 2 seconds.
Yeah, and there's more that needs to be done and needs to be said. So
Sure.
I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Oh yeah, by the way, we actually have a second town hall on March 30th. We'll talk about that more in the days and weeks ahead. But if you haven't taken the survey, make sure that you go to d7speaks.com, take the survey. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us. I'm your brother John.
This is Kiana.
I am the one and only Mr. Edmund.
It's been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. We out.